So, hey guys, how's it going? I'm actually really sick today and I couldn't go to school. It's Monday, but I still had this thought in my mind that I sort of wanted to share in this video because, you know, whenever I have some kind of idea or some kind of thought that sort of comes to mind, I try my best to just express it on this YouTube channel and to just really share what it is that's going through my mind, and hopefully it can actually inspire people. So that's sort of what I try to do, and I have a bit of time to do so because I'm sick. Don't mind my deep voice, I'm just really sick. With this opportunity of obviously not having school, even though I'm sick, right, it does give me the entire day off. And to be honest with you, I just spent my time working today, and it's only like 2 p.m. right now, so I'm just going to continue to work right after. But basically, in this entrepreneurial journey that I sort of set myself on, right? When I first started entrepreneurship, it was less, I guess in the beginning, it was a little bit about the money, but later down the line, that's when it really turned from a business journey, an entrepreneurial journey, to a self-development journey, and basically having it become the entire purpose of my life. And that's because the meaning of this journey sort of transitioned from a material-based journey to a really more purposeful, meaningful kind of path, right? When I first started entrepreneurship, it was really just about having peace with myself. It was about avoiding drama around the people around me, just cutting everybody off to focus on myself and to find myself, right? That was sort of how it all started. But later down the line, when I started to learn things about business, when I started to learn things about money, it completely twisted my mindset. And it went from twisting my mindset to slowly forming a purpose in my life, and a really big purpose that I'm still pursuing to this day. And I've made this purpose genuinely the meaning of my life, because people out there, they talk about, oh well, what's your purpose in life, what's your dream in life, and a lot of people don't really manage to find that purpose in the beginning stage of their life. I'm still 16, I'm still a little girl with just a bunch of dreams that I'm pursuing every single day, right? And I also think that having this purpose and having this dream was probably one of the biggest curses that could have ever happened to me, because obviously, like, I'm pursuing this dream, right? I'm pursuing what it is that I want to achieve in life, but in that process, I had to basically sacrifice my teenage years to do this. And the reason why that is just because I learned way too much about myself, about life, and about business, and really just about how the world works. And after having learned all of this, and basically having understood my environment, my internal being, I told myself that I could never ever settle for anything else but the absolute fullest potential of myself. For like 6 months, I remember almost every single night I would just sit on my bed or go for a walk at night at the park and just thinking about, hold on, like, I'm alive here. What does that mean, being alive? Just being present, being able to live, to breathe, to feel emotions. What does that truly mean? And I've had some nights where I would just sit down by the balcony, like right in front of me over here, with the beautiful view of Bengal, where I'm putting a curtain on right now so you don't really see it. But for 6 months straight, I would just sit by this balcony and just look at the view and just question my entire existence. Why am I even alive? Like, what am I doing here? At some point, I sort of concluded with myself that I would never ever fully understand why it is that I'm alive, why it is that I managed to have a mind of my own, and why I managed to just be here, I guess, But that's just the question that every single human asks themselves, is why is it that I exist, And to be honest with you, you will never be able to find that out. And at some point, I just surrendered to that, especially when I started to build a relationship with God, and when I found God or found myself in God, I just surrendered to the fact that I would never understand God, and I would never understand why life is the way that life is, but that I just had to be it and I just had to live it. But at some point, I also understand how amazing that truly is, to be a human, to have emotions, to be able to live the world that is out there. and to be able to live in the world that is out there. You know, there's so many beautiful places out there in the world, and fortunately, you know, my parents went out of their way to just try and get me to travel and bring me to experience things around the world, and they just went out of their way to do this, you know. And by doing that, I think traveling has honestly changed my perspective in such an amazing and life-changing way, and I'll tell you why that is. I think traveling also had a really big effect that links back to my entrepreneurial journey, because when I was traveling, you know, I was going to places like Monaco, and that's because I'm French. I have to go back to France to visit my grandparents sometimes. And at some point, I think this was 2 years ago, my dad just told me, hey, I really want you to see this place. Maybe you'll be able to see the environment around you and just let that influence you, let that motivate you, right? So he brought me to Monaco only for like the day, but the things that I saw around me just completely twisted my mindset on how money works and how the world works. And that's why I always try and encourage people that, you know, if you've made your first $1,000 online, go and have a coffee at an expensive hotel, or just take your parents out to a nice dinner to have that experience of what it's like, you know. Or just be in an environment where there's money around you and see the way that people move, see the way that people talk, the way that they carry themselves. And, you know, again, like my parents went out of their way to try and get me into those environments and to try and get me into that area where I can see how that works, right? And you know, apart from me being in those places where I would see Monaco, Bugattis and everything, there were also things that I saw online of what people were achieving, and not only was it me being physically present in areas where there was money around, but it's also me having access to the internet and sort of having tapped into the side of the internet where people talk about making money, people talk about online entrepreneurship, and there are 20-year-olds out there who talk about making millions online. I would see these places physically of people with just a bunch of money. I would see these people online that have a bunch of money, and when I would come back into my hometown and look around me, or to look around sort of the people that were trying to give me advice or were trying to tell me to go to university, to get a job, I thought to myself, how does that even make sense? It made me question, how is it that people out there at 20 years old, my sister is 20 years old right now in university, and I thought to myself, how are people out there at 20 years old making millions of dollars online, and I'm being told to go to university and get a stable job? It just didn't make sense as to why I would choose to get a job when there's people out there making money online. And it just completely ruined my entire perspective on life, on myself, and of my environment. And I remember at some point I was sitting in my bed at like 2 a.m. after having worked basically all night, and I told myself, you know, I could never ever settle for anything else but an extraordinary life. And you know, not just a life where I have a lot of money or I have a big sum of income, but I promised myself that I could never settle for an ordinary life or a normal life where I just get a job, I go to university like everybody else. I just couldn't accept that, because I understood the opportunity of what it is to be alive. I'm not gonna live 100 years. Nobody around me is going to live 100 years. In 100 years, I will be under the ground. Like, that's as deep as it gets, really. And why is it that I would settle for something ordinary in this one in a lifetime chance, like literally one in a lifetime chance? Why is it that I would settle for an ordinary life where I'm just comfortable when I can go out there and achieve the most extraordinary thing and completely redefine potential? I literally have one chance to do this, and that one chance is being alive, you know? I don't know when I'm going to die. I don't know when my parents are going to die. I don't know when anybody around me is going to die. Why is it that I would just let life pass me by and not do anything about it and not take advantage of a single thing in life? You know, and it's really sad because most people do that. They just let life pass them by. And I promised myself that I would never, ever do that to myself. When I got closer to God, He showed me my potential. Not only did it go from me questioning my environment because I saw things that influenced me and that completely transitioned my mindset, but I was breeding visions into my mind of what my future could look like, of what my potential could look like. And it's like, how am I supposed to believe anything else when this is what I see in my mind? This is all I can think about. How can I settle for anything else when there's all of this opportunity out there in today's world? Yes, it takes hard work, it takes dedication, it takes a lot of commitment. That's a part of life as well. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, you're gonna have to go through pain, you're gonna have to go through tribulations, and you're gonna have to literally push past your limits. But what else am I supposed to do other than that? Am I supposed to settle for a normal life and just let life pass me by and just become a feather in the wind? Why would I do that when I have a one in a lifetime opportunity, which is being able to breathe and having, the capabilities to basically create almost anything and to create any life that I want? And I told myself, I want my life to look like a movie. I don't want to settle for anything less than an extraordinary life where I achieve every single thing that I talk about. Because it all starts from your heart, and it all starts from your mind. The most powerful thing that anybody can do is to have a vision in their mind and to literally bring it to life with pure persistence. And I made a promise to myself that I was going to do that. It all starts from your heart, really. It genuinely all starts from your heart, and you can live an extraordinary life. I'm starting from literally nothing. And most people out there who have found success also started from nothing but a vision in their mind. And God gave me that vision, to be honest with you. By questioning myself and by questioning the truth of my purpose and the truth of my life, God gave me the answer. And I just can't throw that away because I've seen the potential. I've seen what my future can actually be like. It completely started a fire in my heart to pursue nothing but greatness. And this whole journey that I started isn't just about making money, and it's not just about having a large sum of income, but it's about living the most extraordinary life ever and going through that journey where I take full advantage of this one opportunity of being alive and to make the most of it whilst I can. And I have this vision, and I've made it my mission to show other people how to do that as well, because it genuinely hurts me to see the amount of potential that people have and them just not doing anything about it because of laziness, because of lack of information or lack of resources, because the amount of opportunities that are out there in today's world is just overwhelming, and everything is out there for you to take advantage of. Like, quite literally, every single thing that you need is available out there. You just have to go and get it. I understood that the money is printed, the network is out there. I just need to go and get it. But doing that is a hard process because you need to be able to build up that discipline with yourself. And most people have gone their entire lives living under someone else's word. Like, that's honestly my biggest nightmare. It genuinely is. I genuinely think that I'm purely motivated by the fear of being average and the fear of not amounting to anything in this one opportunity that God has given all of us. I've made it my purpose and I've made it my dream to create the most extraordinary life because I have that vision in my mind. Not only to make a lot of money, but to retire my parents, to take care of people around me, to change people's lives, to see the most beautiful places in the world, to develop my mind in such an extraordinary and powerful way, and to just know that I followed this vision in my mind because it's so powerful. I will never be able to explain just how powerful this fire in my heart truly is, and I'm sure that a lot of entrepreneurs out there who have found success have felt the same thing, but I'll never be able to explain it. It's just because it's not a verbal element, it's just a feeling, and it just feels like truth. It just feels like my purpose. By understanding all of this, I've just dedicated my entire life and the rest of my teenage years to just fully focus on creating this extraordinary life that I dream about every single day. And you're gonna have to go through that struggle. You're gonna have to go through those challenges where you have to genuinely face yourself and you have to walk straight into the hardships. But I accepted that because I just can't settle for anything else. I just dream every single day about how amazing it would be if I'm sitting here talking about my dreams, talking about how I promise myself that I'm going to achieve everything it is that I want, documenting the entire journey on the way there, and then actually doing every single thing that I said I was going to do. Not only for me, not only is this a visual film for myself, but it's also for the people that I want to impact, or my loved ones who believed in me or also didn't believe in me. It's just showing them the step by step of how this delusion that I have in my mind genuinely evolves into the most extraordinary life ever. All I want to do is just become the best version of myself. All I want to do is to change people's lives, is to change my loved ones' lives and to take care of them. All I want to do is to just become the best version of myself in every single realm so that I can change people's lives, so that I can take care of my loved ones, and so that I can experience the extraordinary side of life where possibilities are absolutely limitless. I've sort of accepted the fact that I'm gonna be stuck in this environment in my hometown for like the next year and a half, but as long as I have this fire in my heart, I know that it's going to be able to manifest eventually. And all I've been trying to do is to just dedicate as much time as I possibly can to just pursuing this dream and this vision that I have in my mind. And not just going through an entrepreneurial journey where I managed to build a business that makes me money online, but to literally redefine the definition of possibilities. One of the reasons why I chose entrepreneurship is because I understood that me getting a job is nothing extraordinary. Me going to university is what everybody else does. I don't want to do that because that's the normal things. And why would I want to live a normal life? Why is it that I would choose to do exactly what everybody does with their life when I am given one opportunity to do anything, literally anything? Because if you have that fire in your heart, you can achieve anything. If you put in the dedication, if you put in the work, and if you have pure persistence to the pursuit of whatever it is that you want to create. I can't do that with a job. I can't do that by going down the normal route of university. And my parents, that's sort of what they did. They went down the regular route of getting education and to actually just have a job. It breaks my heart because I know that they deserve so much more, and I want to be able to give that to them, to show them how amazing life can be. Not just a life where you can have kids, not just a life where you can travel here and there, but to show them the absolute amazing, extraordinary side of life. And I don't want to just show that to my parents, but I want to show that to everybody in the world, because it's possible and everybody has that potential if they commit to it. And it all starts with your mindset. If you want to achieve something great in life, you can't have a mediocre mindset. And I think that's the hardest part as well, is being able to form your mind into such an insane delusional form. But if you want to go down an entrepreneurial journey where you eventually want to sort of do what I'm doing, which is pursuing online business and pursuing online entrepreneurship, where you can make money from wherever you want, whenever you want, it all starts with self-development, and it all starts with reforming your mind by building it into an absolute machine. Your mind is literally the most powerful tool ever. So you have to take care of it, and you need to break every single barrier that your mind limits you with. The first step is to get your mind to work for you and to breathe that fire in your heart. I'm not just here to live life, and I made that promise with myself that I would make my life an absolute movie and that I would live the most insane life ever, because I understand that this is the only opportunity that I have, and I'm not going to let life pass me by. You need to be able to take full control of your life. And I refuse to work a job, because when you work a job, you quite literally work for somebody else. You let somebody else control your time. You let somebody else control your location. And if you don't abide by that, there's consequences. And I'm like, that is just absolutely insane, right? Unless obviously you want to settle for a good job where you don't have to handle the stress of a CEO, then that's fine. But you know, you gotta have an amazing team and all this different stuff. If you actually love your job, that's amazing. I just can't settle for that. And I know that there are so many people out there, so many girls out there who don't want to settle for that either. And you know, it's really sad because they don't have that figure to lead them. They don't have the resources to be able to go after that dream of wanting to just be independent. And I want to be the first to do that. I want to become that first figure because that's the vision that God gave me. Because that's the vision that I have in my mind, you know, and I'm doing every single thing that I can possibly do every single day to just get closer to that goal. And I know that it's going to happen because I have that persistence and I have that faith in God. And you know, I'm gonna keep making videos like this where I'm just sort of talking about my thoughts because it's the only way that I can really, you know, express myself. Other than that, every single thing happens in my mind. But with such a vision ahead of me and with such a mission ahead of me, like I'm quite literally trying to make my life a movie by recording my journey on film. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing, honestly. And you know, and it's a little funny that I'm talking about this after skipping school today, but you know, even in class, like I can't even think about anything else other than this. And you know, and I can't wait to see what God has waiting for me, but I'm enjoying the process because it's amazing. And I have so much faith in God, so I'm trying to live through the process, live while I still can, being 16. You know, later on, maybe in my 20s, when I do achieve everything that I want, I'm not gonna get this age again, you know, where I'm working towards my dreams with all these resources. The only thing that I have is my computer right here. My computer and my mind are the only tools that I'm using to manifest this vision into an absolute empire and to create the most extraordinary life ever. And, you know, at the same time, I'm just trying to enjoy my teenage years whilst I can, and not enjoy it by, you know, living an extraordinary life, but I love this journey and I love this process from the bottom of my heart because I know that this is my purpose and I know that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life, which is just to pursue greatness and to help other people do the same. And I'm going to continue to document that as I do so. So if you want to be a part of my journey, stay tuned. I wish you all the best, and please aim for nothing less than greatness because you have that potential, and I know that I do, and that's exactly what I'm doing, and that's exactly what I've dedicated my entire life to doing. So I wish you all the best, and if you found a lot of value in this video, feel free to subscribe because I'm going to be filming a lot more of these. But other than that, I'll see you in the next one, and God bless.